All right, so winter is upon us. When you look at that picture, what do you see?
A penguin.
Hey, there's lots of penguins, but which one sticks out? That one, right? This is what I want you to be in your business. That penguin that sticks out. Did your eye go to that penguin right there? How about that one right there?
No.
How about this one over here?
No.
This one?
No.
No? Why not? They don't stand out. And guess what? There's a lot of noise right now in the marketplace, and unless you're differentiating yourself, you're part of that noise. You must stand out during this time. Doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, how new you are, how old you are, it doesn't matter. You must stand out during this time. So how many of you, one of my favorite movies, how many of you have watched the movie The March of the Penguins? You guys watch that movie?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You haven't seen that? We've watched that movie. What are you talking about? All right, tonight, guess what we're watching? All right, so March of the Penguins. If you guys saw the movie, the first scene is some penguin that's swimming through the water. It jumps out, jumps onto the ice, flicks the water off of its beak, and then Morgan Freeman comes in and says, "This is a story of love." Right, and you say, "Well, I thought this was a story about penguins," but all right, Morgan, I'm with you. And so they just start to describe the life of this penguin. And they say, this penguin will walk 40 miles over rough terrain in the coldest place on earth. How many of you have ever walked 40 miles at once? Anyone? Now, you've seen what penguins look like when they walk, right? They're not like built for it at all. And I'm watching this thing, I'm going, man, this is going to take a while. I know how long it would take me to walk 40 miles, and I'd be whining the whole way, and I'm made for it. This thing isn't even made for it. All right? And so I feel really bad for the penguin because he's all by himself. And he's walking, and they show this penguin in the foreground, and there's nothing but ice all the way in the picture. And there's this penguin just waddling away. And I'm like, oh man, this is unbelievable. I can't believe it. Next scene, penguin turns the corner, finds a few of his mates. They get to walk together. I feel much better now. I'm like, oh, cool, dude. You're going to get to walk to the breeding grounds with some friends. That's nice, right? And so they say, and they talk about how they're a colony and they do things together. And then they turn the corner again. And there are 10,000 penguins. 10,000. And I'm like, holy cow, how is this penguin ever going to get laid now? Right? Look at it, you're going to this big audience. And that's the last we see of that penguin. You can't distinguish that penguin from the colony for the rest of the movie. You don't know what happens to that penguin. We don't know. We don't know what the result is. He's another penguin. Okay? Well, we have a colony, humans have a colony, it's called the internet. Okay? Now, you have social media, you post, I'm sure. You have Instagram and Pinterest and LinkedIn, and you're working on your strategies. And unless you're saying something totally different, you are just contributing to the noise. And frankly, you're helping this penguin rise higher. The more noise you make down here, the more you make this person look good. If you're not saying something different, save your thumbs the carpal tunnel syndrome. Stop posting. Oh, I'm on the corner having a donut. Yeah, so are 50,000 other people. No one cares. Okay? If you're posting a blog about something else, it's just blah, blah, blah. It's just noise. You must be saying something different. Here is what you should be saying different during this time. What you should have, and we're going to go through it in a minute, but the three things you want to be doing is you want to have a premium service. And I mean an obnoxiously high service offering. Because during winter, consumers defer to authorities. And they pay more to work with an authority than someone who they think is in the middle of the pack. So people that got hit by the financial crisis, the average market out there lost about 36% of its value. And surprise, surprise, retirement and savings accounts got hit on average about, what percent do you think? About 36%, same as the markets. They lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 36% of their value. I jumped in as quick as I could.
I love that.
You were so close to us. I was really rooting for you. So exactly, 36. Right. So 36%. So in other words, consumers have one shot with their money. One shot. And so think about this for a moment. if you were going to leave this meeting and you had to get to the airport to catch a flight, let's just assume for a moment the planes are flying, all right? And I said, I've got 2 cars waiting for you outside. You go pick the car you want. Just, it'll, your choice. I just set up 2 there so you have some choice. And you go down below and you're walking outside. You come running out and you have exactly the amount of time to catch your flight. You see 2 cars, same car, same driver. They're dressed the same way. First car though, the guy's got his shirt hanging out, and and the car's filthy dirty, and when he opens the door for you, like an empty cup falls out, and it looks dirty and disheveled, and you say, "Go into the airport. I gotta catch a flight." And he goes, "What airport?" Our airport, like Newark Airport. Newark? Oh yeah, Newark. No, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. Yeah, Newark. Just hop in the back. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Grab something to drink if you want. And you're like, I don't know. I don't even want to sit in here, let alone drink it. And he says, "I'll charge you like $20. And I said, "Listen, I've got to get to the airport. I'm flying United. I got 1 shot here." And he's like, "I don't know. What's the best?" And he asks you, "What's the best way to get there?" And you're like, "Well, I thought we would drive. Would be the fastest, and you would know how to get there." Well, I've been there before, but I just thought you might know a better way. It's okay. When is your flight? 45 minutes? Ooh. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do the best we can. And you're like, I think I want a second opinion. $20, remember. And you go to the second one, and this person's car is immaculate. Guy looks good. He's all ready to go. Has his hat on, and he's like, "Welcome. There's 2 drinks in the back. I understand you like water, so there's fresh water in the back. There's a newspaper today. I understand you're on United Flight 1200. Is that right? Your flight goes in 45 minutes. I will get you there in 42 minutes, guaranteed, or the fare is free. I charge $100. Who are you going with? $100 every time. Who's the authority? You could go with this guy 5 times. You figure 1 out of 5 he'll get it, right? But you'll pay for the authority because you have 1 shot. That's what it's like in winter. People feel they have 1 chance with their money. That's why 87% of all offline purchases are first researched online. Okay? Offline purchases is near 90% now. People have plenty of time now. They got 1 shot. They want to make sure they get it right. And if you're the authority and they believe you can get them there, whatever that means in your business, the first time, you can charge a lot more and they would be happily paying it. If you don't even offer it, you are among the noise. Okay? And they don't even hear you. So here's how people consider you to be an authority or not during winter. You are either at or among the highest price in your niche, or you are at or among the lowest price in your niche. So I don't know what you pay for in Morristown. I pay $1 per search on Google. What do they charge you down here? When you do a search on Google, you type it in, how much do you get charged? It's not a trick question. You guys are taking this way too seriously. I know it's free. Like, wow, they charge up there? How do they know? I'm surprised how well that one actually goes over. Google's free. Don't you feel bad for them? Like, do you guys send in a check anyway? Like, I want you guys to make money because it's such a good service, and I'm worried because you don't charge, and I don't know how you make money, so, I've used you a lot over the last month. Here's $50. Put it with the rest. How many of you do that? No. Do you care that they are free? You could care less. And if they go out of business, are you that worried?
No, somebody else.
Because there'll be somebody else right in line. There is no such thing as customer loyalty anymore. It's gone. And that's not the problem of the consumer. The companies have broken that contract years ago. You join their frequent flyer. I'm still bitter. I belong to a major carrier's frequent flyer program. I have a gazillion miles. And it took me, just in this last period of time when I had this online argument, this phone argument with the representative, 141 flights to generate the amount of miles that I had. I wanted to book a flight from Newark to Atlanta to Houston, back to New Jersey, back to Newark. Lady says, so sorry, can't use your miles. Like, why can't I use my miles? I've got like a gazillion of them. And they're like, yeah, but you're not going back to the originating airport. I said, of course I am. I'm starting in Newark, I'm ending in Newark. I'm just going here, here, here. You guys, you're United. You guys have all the planes. You own the whole system. Well, like, yeah, but if you don't do it, I'm like, forget it. And I didn't even book the flight. I even said to the lady, I said, lady, how many miles do I have? And she said the number. And I said, how many flights did it take for me to get there? And she's like, best I could, I told her, I said, I fly about this much distance. She goes, well, that would be like 141 times around. I said, that means I parked in your parking lots 141 times, ate your food, sat in your reception area, purchased stuff online. You're trying to tell me I can't use my miles to make this little dink itinerary? Seriously? She's like, well, I don't know. Click, went to the next one, and I just paid for it. I was so disgusted, they broke the contract, right? They broke the contract with me. Yes, I still have all the miles, but it's so hard to be their customer. So I have no loyalty to them anymore, right? I used to be like, let me go out of the way to fly with them. Now I'm like, screw them. I'm another number to them, so I have no loyalty to them. Right? So companies broke the contract. So if you don't, I hear it all the time, like, oh, our customers, I can't believe they're shopping somewhere else. Not their fault, it's your fault. On some level. You might be doing it better than others, but you have to work that much harder now to maintain loyalty. But one of the easiest ways to do it is to build your authority. They will trust your authority first. You can make them loyal next. Okay? All right. So just in case you didn't feel bad enough about the economy, here's the second wave of correction that has to come in wintertime. In every winter for the last 500 years, we have an overabundance of equity, meaning all of our assets are overvalued, and there's too much debt. People can't pay off their debt. And in virtually every winter, there's two corrections. We've had one so far. And the equity, and then the equity, and then the loans, the debt has to come out. We've gotten a lot of the equity down. Loans are next. This was 2008. This is what's coming. When? Nobody knows. But it's got to happen at some point. And they're saying the next wave is commercial real estate.
Those defaults?
Well, there was the peak of the adjustable rate mortgages was about 6 years ago. 5-year adjustable rate mortgages peaked about 6 years ago. So they're saying now at this point, they can't guarantee it, but they're saying those rates will adjust. And since our rates are low, that's been good, right? But at some point, I met with an executive from a major bank, and he said to me, I won't say the name of the bank, but he said to me confidentially, he said, Carl, we haven't even gotten to Florida yet. Now, that was 5 years ago. They haven't even looked. They have people living in homes 2 and 3 years that they should have, by law, foreclosed them. They have this company has 40,000 homes in Las Vegas area alone that they, by law, should have foreclosed on, but they don't want to do it because it'll crash the real estate market in that area. 40,000. Now, imagine you're trying to buy or sell a house, and then all of a sudden this hits the market. So they're trying to trickle them out. But at some point, it's got to happen, right? And so, cash for clunkers and cash for caulking and all these other government programs have delayed it a little bit and hopefully will soften the landing. But this, like every other winter, has to come out at some point. Now, this is really good news if you're prepared for winter. Because as soon as this happens again, everyone's going to run to the authorities. Meaning you. If you not like the police, to you, right? Okay. So here are the 3 strategies that you need. We talked about you're raising your fees. The second thing you have to have is bundling. Because when the market goes down, and right now the stock market is low, medium, or high right now. Say it with me.
High.
Where's it going?
Down.
Down. Just be prepared. Just be prepared. If you're somebody like, well, I'll explain in a moment.